A game that got announced back in 2019, guys, that I didn't get a chance to talk about here on the YouTube channel is Deathloop. And since we got some more information about this game, I thought I wanted to definitely make a video about this and talk about this game because it intrigued me ever since its initial, kind of reveal to the world, and I'm excited to share more with you guys about the things that we know so far about the game, and then I'd love to get your guys' opinions as well as I'll give you guys mine, and then let me know what you guys think about Deathloop in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article that was written by Heather Wald of Games Radar, here's everything you need to know about the new action game from the developers behind Dishonored. So right off the bat, guys, the developers of Dishonored are the ones who are making Deathloop, and that was like kind of the first thing that really caught my attention, was that these are the guys who made Dishonored, and obviously a lot of people really enjoyed that game. And coming off of that, a lot of people are expecting this to be something pretty special. Bethesda E3 2019 saw Dishonored developer Arcane Lion announced Deathloop, a new first-person game that'll take us on one mind-bending ride. It looks like a deadly alternative take on Groundhog Day, replacing Bill Murray with two assassins who are absolutely determined to kill each other. It takes place in the mysterious Black Reef during a time of madness. The area is caught in an unending cycle, and the two assassins, who have different motivations, keep killing each other over and over again. Now, as far as the Deathloop release date is concerned, guys, the release date was absent from its E3 2019 debut, and Bethesda didn't give any indication of a release window or even what it will release on. Since the cinematic trailer was our first look at the game with no gameplay in sight, we could even be looking at seeing it release on the next gen consoles. Maybe even Google Stadia could get a look in. And so what I would say, guys, is Deathloop most likely will be coming out on the Xbox Series X as well as the PS5. At the moment, it'll likely be quite some time before we see more of the looping, mind-bending action. Now, it states, guys, that 2020 is the initial release date for this game, so it sounds like Deathloop is supposed to be coming out this year. However, it's really hard to say if we're going to be, if this is a game that will be coming out this year, or if it's going to get postponed to next year. It's hard to say at this point. Maybe it'll even be a launch title, which would be really interesting. Now, two deadly rivals trapped in an endless, eternal cycle. The cinematic trailer introduces us to the main protagonists of the Deathloop story. Bakaba said they are two extraordinary rival assassins called Colt and Juliana, who are both stuck in the unending cycle of the frozen island of Black Reef. In the trailer, it becomes clear the two assassins have opposing goals. Juliana wants to protect the cycle, while Colt hopes to break it. And the only way to do that is by killing each other, and they do so over and over again. Which, honestly, guys, it's a really interesting concept. I think that we can all agree that the concept here of Deathloop is something that we're all accustomed to with gaming, right? If you're playing a shooting game, if you're playing some type of horror game, whatever it is, there's going to be times that you're going to die within the game, and then, you're going to respawn, and you're going to go over and over again. This is an interesting concept to this by having it, it's being marketed as you're dying over and over and over again, but that's all a part of it. Whereas in normal games, it's just kind of normalcy. This kind of is almost thriving on that, which is interesting. We see the assassins wielding lots of weapons, from snipers and shotguns to machetes. There's also a healthy dose of explosions, and hang on a minute, did Juliana just teleport? And do we just see Colt use some form of telekinesis to send an enemy flying against a wall? This must be why the pair are described as extraordinary. Now, here's what I'll say. This looks like a game that will absolutely, definitely should have multiplayer elements to it, guys, because obviously, being able to get one of these characters and then, hopefully there's a bunch of them at the end of the day, which would be absolutely awesome if there was a number of characters within the Deathloop universe and you're able to play them as playable characters, whether in the campaign or in a multiplayer perspective. Because when we're talking about telekinesis, we're talking about teleporting and things of that nature. That reminds you of games like Overwatch. It reminds you of even the specialists in Call of Duty, the operators in Rainbow Six. So what I'm getting at here is that Deathloop could really do something special here, in my personal opinion, if they decide to go that route. Now, Bakaba and Mitten closed off the presentation by revealing that Deathloop will have arcane signature gameplay that lets you approach every situation however you want. In Dishonored, the storyline and outcome events hinged entirely on how you approached every situation. You could even try to avoid killing anyone throughout the entire game, but it certainly isn't the easy route. I'm willing to bet the passive choice might not apply so much here, given that the two main characters are set on killing each other a lot. But it will be interesting to see just how this works in the Deathloop world, since how you play is up to you. What's interesting is the characters must know that they're killing the other person over and over again. And it's just kind of like this almost endless cycle, which is interesting. And both of the characters within this world are aware of that. So I wonder how they're planning on going about this, because this could be a significant, mind-bending experience, but even psychological. It could have a lot of different, very interesting endings to it as well from just a campaign perspective. Now, in Deathloop's press release, it states that we'll be able to explore stunning environments and meticulously designed levels in an immersive gameplay experience. And as Bakaba said, it will also feature mind-bending storytelling. The idea that the lawless island of Black Reef is made of levels seemed to lean into the idea that we could be seeing a main story-driven campaign with PvP elements. And that's exactly what I agree with. I think the same thing, absolutely, guys, that we're going to be seeing PvP. We're going to be having a pretty awesome story-driven campaign. Or it kind of has the foundation what could be a really cool campaign. And so at the end of the day, guys, what we know so far about this game is we know a decent amount, but there's a lot of mystery to this, obviously. From a campaign perspective, are we going to get multiplayer? Are we going to get some co-op modes? I think this is a game that looks like it's primed for all of those things. And as far as from a storytelling perspective, I just like the concept. I like the idea that they're taking this and they're doing this, this death loop, this loop of dying over and over again, and they're turning it into almost a story. They're turning it into what could be the next franchise. Now, my question is does this mean that they're kind of putting Dishonored on a hiatus or in a limbo state? That's another, conversation for another day. However, Deathloop very well could be something special, guys, and I want to hear from all of you. What do you guys think about Deathloop? In the comment section below, let me know what you guys think so far about it, and I will keep you guys all up to speed as further information comes out. And for more Deathloop content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.